Hey everybody, Joe from MTX. I'm here with Josh. Today we're going to go ahead and show you guys how to swap out the speakers in this 2009 Chevy Silverado. Now, swapping out your factory speakers is one of the easiest ways to improve the sound in your car. Key point is before you get started, to take a look at your door, take a look at your door panel to see what's going to be involved, because a lot of manufacturers don't just use a couple of screws screwing the speaker in. There's oftentimes an OEM part or rivets or something else keeping them in there that you may not be comfortable dealing with. When you take your door panel off, and if it doesn't look like something you can handle, make sure that you get a professional 12-volt retailer to help you out with this installation. So we've taken the door panel off of this door, and as you can see right here, lo and behold, we have a factory piece that is in the way. I'm going to go ahead and take this thing off real quick, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like so you can get a better understanding of what we're talking about. Alright, so as you can see, this is a specific factory bracket that's keeping this 6.5-inch speaker. We take the 6.5-inch speaker that we want to install and we go to this hole. Doesn't line up, so there's a problem. So you've got a couple of choices. You can either try and find a piece of metal that you can attach to and hope that when you're driving around the speaker doesn't come loose. You can fabricate something if you're good with wood or you know how to do fiberglass. This is a good time to use those skills. Or if you want to save some time, you can search and see if somebody makes an adapter for this. Luckily for us, Scosche makes an adapter for this. So this is an aftermarket adapter that's going to allow us to take this factory speaker out and replace it with our aftermarket speaker. Now the speakers that we're going to use today are the TX6 6.5-inch 90-watt RMS speakers from MTX Audio. This is going to be a separate woofer with a crossover and a tweeter. Our plan today is to add the 6.5-inch into the door in the factory speaker position. We're then going to mount the tweeter up here, and we're going to put the crossover in behind the door. So the first step is we got to get the factory speaker off. So we're just going to go ahead and cut this wire. Alright, so we've detached the speaker from the factory wiring. Because we're using component speakers that have a separate crossover, we really need to figure out where we're going to mount that crossover. Where it's going to be able to fit inside the door, where it's not going to be in the way, it's not going to interfere with the window, and it's going to be able to still connect to our woofer that we're going to install as well as our tweeter that we're going to install up here. So Josh, if you would grab a crossover off the table there. So this is going to be our crossover for the TX speakers. We need to find a way, someplace in here where we can put it that it's not going to interfere with the door, and it's not going to interfere with anything internally. Now we had to take off the weatherproofing off the front of this, which is a white foam mat, and then you have to imagine there's a couple of other things that are happening there, so really this section is not going to be great for us. This really looks like a good place, but as you'll notice, if we installed that there when we tried to close the door, we're going to have a problem where the door closes here. So it looks like to me this is going to be best installed on the inside of the door. Now, if you're going to install these on the inside of the door, you got to make sure that you're not going to interfere with the window going up or down. Now we put our window down so we know where it is here. And then Chevy has given us this convenient space, which looks actually pretty good. So if we use this, we're going to be able to install this inside the door. The first thing that I'm going to do is get everything wired up to this factory speaker wire. I'm also going to attach speaker leads that come with the speakers, both the 6.5-inch as well as the 1-inch tweeter. I'm going to wire them into this, so that way I can just pull the wires out and hook it up to the speakers, and it'll be easy to do once it's installed. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Alright, so we've gone ahead and wired our crossover, and we've got our tweeter connection going here, and our woofer connection is going to be coming down here. We're going to go ahead and mount the adapter bracket that we got for this. Once that's installed, we can go ahead and put the speaker in. Got that in, now we can worry about the tweeter. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the door panel back on. We're going to move these guys up here, and that's going to be real close. So tell you what, we are going to show you how we're doing the tweeter. We're actually going to be mounting the tweeter up here. So we've pre-drilled a hole in this for our tweeter housing bracket, and we are then going to run wires down through here, and we're going to connect them to this pair of speaker wires right there. So I'm going to have to go ahead and cut these spade connectors off. So now we've got the door panel back on, what we need to do is secure this tweeter. So the way that this housing works is there is a piece of plastic that the tweeter is going to rest in. So what we need to do is figure out what we're going to do that. Josh has chosen, he wants to do these as a flat mount onto here. So we're We're going to go ahead and take our screw and our drill. Josh, we're good to go. Tweeter on done. So it's a little bit complex, got to make sure you know what you're getting into. It's always good to have a second pair of hands around in case you need to handle something, but it's a pretty easy process, so we're going to go ahead and get started on the other 3 doors.